All right, here's the actual ending. You know, in the end, where all the characters are together, and they're talking, say, he was a cool guy, right? Yeah, peace out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Hear me out. We pan to a table where there's one glass of whiskey, and the
Mm-hmm.
camera just zooms in, and that's it. So for Spectre, the whole thing was like, because the ring itself had a squid,
Mm-hmm.
and throughout the scene, there's like women, and they're being wrapped around by tentacles.
What do you mean by that?
James Bond said, "Bye, Felicia." Told him to get her trick ass out of there. He ain't fucking with no hoes. Talk to him nice. They gonna call him James Bond. They call him Do Rag Daniel. Cause he's a dirty dog.
And it goes a little something like.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Film Dissection podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Jiminez.
I'm Gagen.
Now I'm Yusef Shah. We honestly need to come up with something like to say what we are. Because there's this one podcast I was watching called The Judgies, and they go, "We're the Judgies," or the Brilliant Idiots. They go, "We're the Brilliant Idiots." And it's just like, I feel like, welcome to an episode of Film Dissection, but we need to be like, we're...
I'm the Beaner.
What?
Tim can say something related to being Caucasian. He can say something.
I don't know. It's just, the only thing I can think of is Cracker, but I mean...
I'm the Beaner. I'm Tim Gagen. I'm the Cracker. I'm Yusef Shah. Then... Oh, you can't say that.
What I meant was, we're supposed to say,
It went downhill really quickly.
That went so... How did we just start it? We just started. How did that... Oh my... Take two. Cut.
Welcome back, guys, to the Film Dissection podcast. I'm one of you... Fuck. Hey, guys, welcome back to the Film Dissection podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Jiminez.
I'm Gagen.
I'm Yusef Shah.
And today we're going to be discussing the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, directed by this guy I've never heard of, called Cary Joji Fukunaga.
Oh, interesting.
Very exotic name.
Where's he from? Where's Fukunaga
Sounds
Japanese.
Sounds Japanese.
Yeah.
Joji's from Japan. Fukunaga says
Fukunaga.
Japanese. Fukunaga.
He looks like Keanu Reeves a little bit. I'm looking at a
He's from
picture.
California. California's a big Japanese population.
That is true. That's where they had the...
Is he Japanese? He's a third generation Japanese American.
Knew it. Japanese. There's your...
We got it, guys.
There's your cultural fun fact of the day, guys.
After that first intro.
All right.
Yeah.
So, No Time to Die. It came out maybe like 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This time we didn't go see it together, guys. We kind of went separate paths for this one, but still very excited to discuss it nonetheless.
I feel like we've never seen any of these movies together.
No, we haven't.
Not yet.
Yeah, not
all
yet.
three of us.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, we
next
are considering going on the triple date. Yusef's very excited about it. We just have to figure out the details and see what we can do.
We will not be going on a triple date because, as I mentioned to host before we started recording, the last time I went on a double date, Kobe Bryant died. And because I loved LeBron James and I still want him to die, no more double dates. So let's...
Yusef single-handedly killed Kobe Bryant because he went on a date.
I might have. Low key. Well, it's not. Well, it was, if I was on a double date, it wasn't single-handedly. It was quadruple-handedly. Or quintuple. That's 5 though. Quintuple is 5. What's odd?
Or quadruple.
Quadruple is 4. Everyone has 2 hands. So like, what's 8? Is 8.
Sectuple.
That's 7, dude. Octuple.
Guys, I think we're getting sidetracked. So this last James Bond movie is pretty much the final movie for the Daniel Craig era for the 007 franchise. And he does, in fact, spoiler alert, he does die.
They make it clear that this is Daniel Craig's last James Bond. I was like, yeah, I think they made it clear.
I mean, seeing how this man literally explodes, it's
But the movie is called No Time to Die. How does he die? He has no time to die. He's got to save his kid.
Fuck them kids.
Where's my child support at?
Hey man, Daniel Craig said either stand and get hit by a bunch of missiles or pay child support. That nigga took the missiles. He took them like a champ too. Let me tell you something.
Definitely did.
All right, but yeah, let's talk about the characters of this film, man. And there's quite a few characters. And
by the way, do we want to preface the fact that me and Yusuf haven't seen any James Bond movies before this?
Oh yeah,
that is
let's get into that.
That is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is me and Yusuf's first James Bond movie, surprisingly.
First and last, to be quite fair with you guys.
No, I plan on seeing the other Daniel Craig ones. I've been wanting to watch them since they announced No Time to Die. I was going to recently, but for whatever reason, I never watched them. And bro, you've seen all the Daniel Craig ones, I'm assuming?
And I've seen Spectre, Skyfall, Casino Royale, and Quantum of Solace. So yeah.
See, I really want to see him, and I think if I see him, I'll enjoy this movie more. But yeah.
I will tell you this as a fan of the franchise. This wasn't my favorite. Like it was an okay movie, but it doesn't top like it wasn't his best. Let's put it that way.
Not top tier Bond.
Not top tier Bond.
It's good, but it's not bad.
Yeah, we'll get more into that, later on in the episode. But yeah.
I've never seen a James Bond movie. I saw this twice. Paid good money to see this twice. And
supporting your local theaters and movies.
Something like that. And I can't say I cared for it twice, man. It was it was an action movie. Like that's just how I felt. Like, oh, it had everything you wanted from an action movie. Like if you made an action movie ad lib, this was it.
Mm-hmm. Also, you were telling me when you saw the movie, when you first saw it, you saw you came 45 minutes late.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I missed a little bit, but I didn't think it was that much. And then you watched with me, and you're like, damn, I really missed nothing.
Yeah, no. So I was actually talking about with the person I saw with the first time, and I was telling her yo, how much of that movie? Because we missed the majority of the intro, at least what we thought. Right? We showed up. And we're like, oh, damn, the intro's it's ending. And we're like, I wonder. And I'm thinking, damn, we kind of came pretty late. Because we came 45 minutes late. Because I don't know, it's traffic and whatnot, blah, blah.
Is that including, the time it started, where, with the commercials and all that?
45 minutes late from when the movie starts. But everyone knows the movie doesn't start at the actual start time. It's previews and all that. Come to find out, we missed maybe at most 3 minutes of the film. At most 3 minutes. Really didn't miss anything. It was ridiculous. And I was just and I fell asleep the first time around. I just kept falling in and out, and I was just ah, shit. But it's just rewatching the second time, I was oh, the parts I fell asleep at still didn't matter. I really didn't miss anything. It was ridiculous. But honestly, it was long. It was too long, but whatever.
I didn't find time to be a really negative factor for this. I never thought I was never I don't know, waiting for stuff to move on. But I also, I don't know, maybe things could have been changed, but I never thought pacing was an issue really, or time.
I think pacing was a huge issue with this.
Maybe pacing, but not time.
But honestly, let's save all that for later. Let's just get into the characters right now. So, Bri, take us through the characters. I'll be starting with the man of the hour, James Bond 007 himself. What are some things you felt about this character watching this film in particular?
Also, with the fact that you've had more history with him.
That's true.
Let's see. Well, Daniel Craig. I mean, this man's been through a lot of shit. And the great thing about the movie, if you've seen all of them, is all of the movies are kind of connected, and you really feel it because there's a villain from the past movies that makes a return midway through the movie. And he was a pretty big villain for James Bond, one of his biggest,
right?
actually.
Blofeld?
Yeah, Blofeld, played by Christopher Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was in Spectre. Yeah, Spectre.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting in seeing how he had to rely on his enemy to kind of continue his mission.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a kind of a twist that I thought was pretty interesting, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
overall, like, I mean, if you guys saw the intro, you saw how pretty much James Bond left his girl because he couldn't trust him. Like, that's how deep his
She was
trust.
like, "Yeah, we're about to live together," and then he's like, just cold shouldered her. He's like, "You're on this train. Never seeing you again. Goodbye."
James Bond said, "Bye, Felicia." Told him to get her trick ass out of there. He ain't fucking with no hoes. Talk to him nice. They gonna call him James Bond. They call him Do-Rag Daniel. Cause he a dirty dog.
So from what I understood from the movie, James Bond was kind of like living in the middle of nowhere for a while because they thought he was dead. And
I'm just curious, with the Last of Spectre, did they kind of touch on him retiring or being done or something?
This is what Daniel Craig. Well, this is what James Bond does after like the end of every mission. He gets the girl.
Just after everyone, he's always retired.
He just disappears after the movie. Like he just goes off with his girl, and people just think like, "Oh, that was it," and then he just comes back later on. But
that's not a new thing.
Yeah, it's not a new thing. He's kind of like he goes in and out, bro. And he apparently went super long with he apparently didn't report back for like a while, and they thought he was just dead. And then he got replaced by this new 007, this new chick, played by Lashana Lynch, who's Nomi in the actual movie. I gotta say, I didn't like that chick. I didn't fuck with her.
Like, you don't like her as an actress, or you just didn't like her character?
Character, I didn't like it.
Well, like, in the movie, she's just kind of like an asshole. Like, that's like her whole character. It's just like, she's there to piss off James Bond. Because I think, as we know, like, the guy who plays, the British, like, Central Intelligence guy, wherever the fuck his name is, I don't remember. M? Oh, yeah, M. But, like, they're all, like, pissed at James Bond for, like, not reporting back and just, like, disappearing. So she's kind of, like, the acting embodiment of, like, their anger towards him. So, like, it makes sense of why she just, like, she's always trying to rub it in his face that, like, he's not 007 anymore.
Well, she's trying to be like, "Oh, I'm you. I'm the new you."
But
like,
better in every way.
Better one. I didn't feel she really contributed to anything. Like, there wasn't a scene where, she saved his life. Like, she just, if anything, she was late. There was a scene where she was so late that they got away. Okay, she was driving an Aston Martin, keep in mind.
Oh, yeah. She did pull up.
It was late as hell, bro.
But I thought she was supposed to be on a different mission and had, like, changed directions. Because she's, like, she's not, I thought, why is she tracking me? And they're like, she's not. And then he realized it was, fucking Freddie Mercury was tracking him.
I'm looking at his name right now. It's
Rami Malek.
Not the actor. Like, the name of the character.
Character?
Yusef Shah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever remembered hearing his name. They might have done it in like that debrief scene, but that probably was it.
I was very disappointed in the villain.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me. Let's talk about James Bond, bro. Dirty Do-Rag Dan. Let's talk about Freddie Mercury over here and how they got an amazing actor to be a Bond villain in Rami Malek. And they just...
I like plants.
He's just there.
I like plants.
Bro, he's a villain in name only. Like, that man is like he's just there to be the antagonist. Like, that's literally his whole purpose throughout the movie. I exist because this story requires the antagonist for the character to make some sort of progression. And it's just like...
Yeah, because I was confused. It's like his whole relation with like the girl Bond had a thing with. And I just didn't really understand, like, I don't know, it just didn't really seem solid, whatever was going on there. Like, his connection with her and Bond.
He has no connection with Bond.
It seems kind of silly.
It's more the connection with her, because...
Yeah, she's like, oh, he's the only thing that you love, but how the hell does he know that?
Yeah, I don't know. His anger, I don't know, like, it's really weird. It's more like, what was the girl's name again?
Which girl? The blonde chick?
Yeah, the blonde chick.
Yeah.
The wifey?
Yeah.
Madeleine?
Madeleine. Yeah, Madeleine, because she's French.
Oh, Madeleine.
And her daughter got the doo-doo. But Madeleine. But, it seemed like Freddie Mercury had like, well, it doesn't seem. This is how it happened. Freddie Mercury had beef with Madlib, and like they got the little man going on, and then James Bond really just kind of caught in the middle of it because he ain't really got no beef with Bond. Like Bond's just kind of there because like, damn, bro, you disrespected my girl or ex girl. Now we gotta throw hands. So it's one of those type of things. Like there's no real connection between him and James Bond. Like it's just, and they don't even start having beef until like the last half hour of the movie. Like he's does not show up throughout this entire film until the end, which doesn't make any sense. This film has like 3 different villains throughout it. Like every time you think like, oh, this is the guy they're focused on, it's like, nope, it's this guy. And it's just like, let's focus on one here. And that's what I mean. Like it's like, I don't know. Like I feel like the character just has a lot of wasted potential. And like,
yeah,
we get the background that like Blofeld like got all his family like murdered and all that. But like, why do we care? It's hard to care about this villain. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I talked about this to someone. I don't know if it was you, Yusef or Tim, but I thought like some sort of flashback.
Yeah, I was expecting
his family
as
as a kid would have been helpful because I don't know what the hell his parents look like.
Yeah,
because he shows up to Madeline's house to like kill her family.
Yeah,
we
like
never see the motive for that.
Like a nice scene where like they get shot and there's blood or some shit like that would have been nice.
You know the opening scene where Madeline's in like the water, she comes up and like she's like it's supposed and it's like her and her like Freddie Mercury comes and kills her mom or whatever, and then she shoots him and drags his body out, and then he comes back to life and he saves her. Instead of using that to show off that scene, use that to show Freddie Mercury's childhood and like Blofeld killing them all, and then put that at the beginning of the movie, and then the ending makes a lot more sense.
For sure.
Especially when he comes back and reveals like to Madeleine that he's the guy with the mask, because like, why? Why did you come back?
Wait, so is Blofeld her dad?
Yeah, the nigga in the fucking Hannibal Lecter chamber.
Oh, okay. I never knew that was her dad.
He was one of the main villains in the past James Bond movies.
Yeah, I know he was the main. He was the leader of Spectre or whatever.
Spectre. Yeah,
which was the last one. I remember seeing
that was the one with the hentai opening. I'm so serious, bro. You know how every James Bond movie has like the weird, like, well, not even weird, because actually I'm a really big fan of the intros, where it's like super like abstract
animated thing. Yeah, the one. This one with the Billie Eilish,
where it shows the whole like intro. It shows the whole plot of the movie through like
the whole like pre-credits.
Yeah.
So for Spectre, the whole thing was like, because the ring itself had a squid, and throughout the scene there's like women and they're being wrapped around by tentacles.
What do you mean by that?
And even James
Bond, got the woman. You got the woman and the guns.
Exactly.
That's Bond movies.
There's a bunch of squid tentacles. Tentacles. Squid tentacles moving all.
And all of a sudden, I'm now interested in the James Bond franchise. You sold me, bro. What's this movie
Yusef
called
went
again?
from a non-believer.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. What's this movie called again?
Converted him.
You said it's called Spectre?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Oh, super underrated character, the girl that was in Cuba.
Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
This was the biggest disappointment of this movie, is that they didn't use more of her character. She's probably the most attractive actress in Hollywood. I will fight on that right now.
She's the most attractive actress. Are we about to get nasty on the podcast? Because I'll get nasty. We'll have to cut some of this out because I'm not about to objectify women and then upload it publicly on the internet. But the top 3 hottest female actresses right now in Hollywood, and I will die on this hill. Gal Gadot. Oh wait, I can't die on this hill because I'm not about to name 3 white women.
Gal Gadot.
Ooh, hold on. But I will die on it. All right, Gal Gadot. I'm gonna have to put some black women in there. So
she's Israeli, so yeah, it's still white.
Don't even try that. I'm gonna say Yara Shahidi. Oh no, Zendaya. I'll put Zendaya. Yeah. Zendaya. No one will come after me for Zendaya. Yeah. I put Zendaya.
Okay.
And then let me get
Child. Anyway, so
damn. All right. All right, cool.
Let me get. We gotta say Margot Robbie as my number 3 right there, and then let me get Yara Shahidi as my honorable mention.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
respectable.
Emma Stone could be my second honorable mention under Yara Shahidi.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, bad. You're wild. Did you see her in that crew, Ella? Hey, bro. Hey,
I know. I just didn't see that coming. I
was thinking Emma Watson when you were saying that. But yeah,
Emma Watson is old news.
Ever since Harry Potter's not a thing anymore.
She retired from acting too.
She did? Good for her.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got a hubby now.
Yeah, man, good for her.
Really?
Hold on, we also gotta name the top 3 hottest actors to balance out the objectification of women, because we can't
Top 3
just
hottest actor right now.
Yeah, we gotta do the hottest actors.
Chris
We gotta balance
Hemsworth?
it out. Chris Hemsworth, okay. Has to be Chris Evans. Has to be Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
All these Chris's, bro.
Majority of the Marvel cast, they got a lot of.
Yeah.
Best looking, right?
Michael B. Jordan.
Paul Rudd, because Paul Rudd's just immortal.
Paul Rudd.
Michael B. Jordan. We have to put Michael B. Jordan on.
Oh, what at Ryan Reynolds?
I don't fuck some Michael B. Jordan, bro.
You don't, bro. You're wildin'. Have you seen that one pics of him saying "Go out to vote" where he's biting his lip and his shirt is off?
Acting wise, I'm not a big fan of his
really?
work.
I think he's a good actor too. I think he's a good actor. Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I like him.
He's in a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are completely forgetting about my man Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
I call it Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal. Okay, whatever. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson, bro. Cute as fuck.
What did you say, nigga?
Yeah, something like that.
Let
me get Daniel Kaluuya before he gained all the weight.
I like how we got way more dudes on here. That's
because bro, I want you to know that if we just went with that segment, we were gonna get dragged, and it's just unnecessary. We just talk about the hottest dudes instead. We don't need that beef.
But as I was saying earlier, I think Ana de Armas is probably the best Bond girl you can get, and she was only in there for like 15 minutes. Yeah, and I was disappointed with that.
She stole the show.
Her scenes were great.
Yeah,
but I was personally disappointed that we didn't get more of her.
Honestly, when she said this is my stop, I'm like, what you mean? Where are you going?
I want to go where you go. You stop here. Me too. I'm coming with you.
I honestly thought she was gonna make a comeback like later on in the movie. Like she gets flown out of a plane, parachutes down, fucking guns blazing. But no, she's just in Cuba, smoking fat stogies.
Yeah, man. It'd be like that sometime.
I hope she comes back. Hopefully they did it on purpose so that the next
she's like the new Felix.
She makes a comeback.
Yeah. Yo, how do y'all feel about a female James Bond? Because I know that
I don't want to.
You don't. Oh, okay. Why not?
It's James Bond, bro. It's not Jamie Bond. Like,
but James Bond is.
Look, if they're gonna do some sort of 007 franchise, do something different.
Like Daniel Craig said.
008.
008.
Yeah, you're right. I just remember he did say that. But I fully agree with him. Do something different. Add a twist to it. Maybe instead of being MI6, do secret agency. Do some American shit. Do Russia. Russia would be interesting.
Yeah.
Do China. Flip it around, bro. And then have a crossover. Think of it. Think about it.
Yeah.
Get back to it.
My one friend, as soon as I was seeing the movie, is like, I feel like the next James Bond is gonna be like a black woman. But I mean, for partially. But I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, if they have a Bond girls, then it have to be Bond guys, and I'm curious how they'd go that route.
I don't care enough about James Bond to care if it was a woman or not. Like, if she was a woman, great, good for them.
Yeah, I'm not invested in the James Bond series, but I feel like Idris Elba would be a great James Bond.
I'm hyped for that. Idris Elba, and we're talking about hottest men in Hollywood. He's got to be on that list right there. Even at the age he has, that man has aged like fine wine.
Fair enough.
Give me Idris Elba. Give me that man. Or give me,
I'll take him over Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, over James Bond. Yeah, easily.
Oh, I just remembered also Hugh Jackman.
General.
How about Henry Cavill as James Bond? I'd take him.
I see that as well. He's good.
But I'd love to see an African American James Bond. Personally,
I feel like Idris Elba really like in my books. He feels like the most.
Ryan Reynolds, bro. Ryan Reynolds.
He's too funny to be James Bond, bro.
Oh, I keep forgetting we're not doing hottest actor.
Bryan sidetracks his mind on other things.
So American James Bond, right? All right.
Well, they always do British actors, don't
Hear me
they?
out. Hear me out. This James Bond, but in America, Matthew McConaughey with a deep Texas backstory.
I would hate that. I would hate that so much.
That's what Kingsman is, kind of.
I would.
The sequel, at least.
Right. You're well. Yeah. Well, it's not the Kingsman. It's something else. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro. Imagine this James Bond.
It'd be it'd be James Brown.
James Brown. Imagine the James Bond. He walked into a bar.
Oh,
saying,
I just remember we already have like all the fucking Mission Impossible movies. That's basically like the James Bond franchise.
Yeah, man. Tom Cruise.
Which is another reason why they should do something with Russia.
Yeah.
Or China.
Yeah. Bro, a Mission Impossible James Bond crossover would slap.
Just saying. Then it could be the new chick. The new chick could come back, make an appearance. They could introduce the new James Bond. Like, you know.
That'd be fire.
It'll make bank, bro.
Imagine Matthew McConaughey as James Bond. He walks into a bar. They go, "Martini, sir?" "Nah, let me get a blue ribbon." "Shaken, not stirred." "Here you go, sir." "All right." Like, yeah, watching 2.5 hours of that, you think you could do that? "All right, Spectre, where are you guys keeping the hostages?"
I can only imagine Matthew McConaughey in a torture scene.
Oh my god.
Oh, Robert Pattinson, the new MI6.
Batman.
He'd be a good one.
Batman.
We have
super excited for the movie.
Stopped entirely talking about the characters. That was crazy.
Oh, we stopped with Paloma. That's her name, Paloma. In Cuba.
Also,
yeah, that's her name.
Amazing character. Love her. Love Ana de Armas. Love that scene. Love every scene she was in. She
had more.
She really should have been in more of the movie.
At least one more scene. I thought the end she was going to come back, but that was it.
And her character was interesting. Like, I liked her little quirkiness, like, of her character, like the awkwardness, but like still like
she just like downs the glass.
Yeah,
she's new. That's why
I love that. That was amazing. She stole the show. She killed it. More Ana de Armas, please and thank you.
What other characters are there?
I really like Q, the guy with glasses.
Yeah.
Computer and shit. In my opinion, he's an older character I know, but I found him like to be the generic like guy in the computer kind of trope character.
Well, in the other movies, he was more important because he was being like chased, and you got to like know him more. But in this movie, he was not too important. But I really like his character as a whole.
Money Penny, she's an important character, right?
Yes, she's always in the James Bond franchise. She's always the girl that James Bond should be like sleeping with, but they never do because like it would be weird because they're like they work together.
Were her and Q together?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's an interesting character as well. Obviously, an old character because she knows Bond very well.
Yeah. What's that one? Who characters else did I like?
Bro, Felix Leiter. My man Felix got done dirty, bro.
I guess you care about him because you probably have history with him. He was just there for me. Like, as a person who's never seen a Bond film, watching him die, it was the most stereotypical. This is the thing about this movie. It was just such, like, it was such an action movie, and not even, like, in a great way. Like, he was just, like, he's like...
It was very based on action movie.
Don't worry about go on without me, man. And then he says the thing, he was like...
And then kills him, it was like, I did have a brother. His name was Felix.
Yeah, bro. And then, like, he does the thing where, like, they talk about, like, what they're gonna do when they get back home and all this, right before he dies. It was just like, come on. Like, I don't know, man. I wasn't really... The death is...
I can understand that.
But I'm sure it was very heartbreaking for you.
Felix was interesting, though. A little, like, double agent kind of guy. I said he was interesting as a little double agent guy that always smiles.
The white guy?
Well, I was thinking. Wait, no, sorry. I was thinking. Yeah, it's Felix. I was thinking of the guy who crossed them.
Oh, yeah, Logan Logan Ash, I think was his name.
Yeah, that was his name. Logan
He
Ash.
was so obviously like a double agent. he was almost so obviously a double agent that you think like people of like Felix's and like James Bond's like expertise would have like caught on to that way sooner, bro. Like it's like how the hell does he not know that was he's a double agent? Like, bro, what? He has narc. Look at his face. He has narc written all over his face, bro. Like, it's ridiculous.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the other characters would be M, the old British guy that's kind of in charge of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I liked him. He was funny. Shady bastard. I liked him though.
Yeah.
Shady bastard.
Shady bastard.
I think that's every. I mean, we went over the villain. The other villain.
There's the scientist, if he is important, the Russian scientist.
Oh! I hated the Russian scientist. His Russian accent was literally disgusting. And why was he narrating the entire movie? He's like, remember when like the gas comes down and starts melting on the Spectre's faces? He literally says, verbatim, this is a true quote from the movie, bro. He said, "Yes, it's working. It's only killing Spectre." As if we didn't already know that. We are watching the same thing you're watching. Why are you narrating the film to us? He does this a couple times throughout the movie, just narrating what's going on. Shut up. And his accent is so bad. He's not even believably
I think
Russian.
Yusef really liked this character.
I think so too. It's probably his favorite.
Yeah, a standout role.
Yeah, it's my favorite character. Just loved every moment this guy was on the screen. Get more of this Russian. What was his name? What was his?
You don't need Ana de Armas. You could have taken her out and put him in for that role.
Oh yeah, just a whole 2.5 hours of this Russian. What was his name, bro?
Valdo.
What?
Valdo.
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 Valdo. And then my tomato soup has more expertise than both of your brains combined. Ah, yes, mother Russia. Like.
Yeah, he was an interesting character. They kept dragging him along.
Dude.
And then they finally killed him. I was waiting for them to kill him earlier, and the new 007 chick really kind of waited a while, and then she's like,
"That's because
what she say? It's like
he started getting racist. That's why. He said some racist shit. She was like, and he just fucking shot him."
Bro, that was probably my top 3 moments of the movie. When what's her name? Nomi? That's her name? Naomi or Nomi?
I think it's how about a British person? Naomi. No, it's Nomi.
Nomi.
It has to be Nomi.
When Nomi Nomi pushes him into the poison and kills him, I'm like, yes. Thank you. Thank you. And for that reason only, and literally for that reason only, is why there should be a James Bond movie simply about her. Because she killed him. And like, you did the whole audience a favor by doing that. Thank you, Nomi. Great job. 10 out of 10 performance from you. God, I hated that character so much. She is so annoying.
Besides that, were there any other characters? I mean, maybe the daughter, but I don't know if you can really say much about her. So she actually was James Bond's biological daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that she lied initially.
Like, who else? I mean, maybe it sure looks like me, but it's not mine. Oh, no. And in the end, like, James Bond was like, yeah, I know she's my daughter, dickhead. Like, I'm an MI6 agent. Of course I know this shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When you really break down the plot of this movie, a whole lot happens that has no correlation at all. Like this almost feels like 3 separate ideas to a film put into one, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just like I guess I kind of see why it's so long, because like there is so much, but it's just like none of it feels necessary. Like I feel like because they're trying to do so much, they ultimately accomplish nothing. Like in terms of with like what's her Madeleine's character and Freddie Mercury, and it's just like they just like
what was his ultimate goal, by the way? Like
to poison the whole world. I don't know. Like I think it was to poison
remember the nano robots It was like a virus, basically. Once it was in your blood system, you couldn't get it out. So as long as you were related to the person, you would die like instantly.
So he just wanted to get revenge by killing anyone related to her in any capacity.
And yeah, anyone related to Spectre, but at the same time, he did something with her blood, which is why in the end, even if James Bond made it out, he wouldn't have been able to be within like 2 feet.
Yeah, because if he like made contact with them, they would have died.
Yeah, because he was really she's the direct descendant of Blowhard.
Yeah,
and you saw what happened to that motherfucker. He started.
That was another thing. Like, if this Blowhard fellow was such a huge Bond villain, why did he have such an anticlimactic death?
Yeah, it's fair enough. He was a pretty big villain to go out that way.
Like, he has actually every villain in this movie has an anticlimactic death. Yeah. Like, Rami Malek's death is he just gets his arm broken and shot in the face. It's almost to the point where it feels like, were you ever a threat to begin with? He's defeated so easily. Like, that's what I mean. Like, to be the last Bond film for a villain, like, a villain needs to be like, damn, like, how are we gonna stop this dude? He's defeated so quickly and easily.
To be fair, he is the villain that ended up killing James Bond, though. Like, he was the one that took him down. Maybe not like planned, but he did take him down at the end because that was.
But the story and motives of this villain is definitely, I think, one of the weakest aspects of the movie, if not the weakest.
Story is definitely lacking, 100%. I agree with
because I feel like they might have done better if they just kept the villain from the last movie, where he's like doing everything under like
it would have been cool.
Like in prison, and they had like one half guy who was doing the work outside of the prison, and focused more on Blowfield or whatever.
The Blowfart.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Rami Malek's villain was kind of like underwhelming.
Wasted potential. The word you're looking for is wasted potential.
Also, I want to get into this part of the movie. I don't like the fact James Bond died. Like, I get it. I get it. It's fine a movie, but I take it back. I don't mind that he died, but it's the way he died. And the way it ended as well.
He goes out in a blaze of glory, man. What do you mean?
They wanted him to be in like a big like shootout where he like something like that.
Something more glorious, bro.
He died. Where
he was like in the middle of action,
staring straight down at missiles. What more glorious do you want to see?
I don't give a fuck. I wanted something better, bro.
He also dies in the most action movie way possible. He's like, he's on the phone with the guys in the office. You gotta make it out of there. Listen, guys, just make sure you guys make it off the island. I'll join you guys. Like, the most action movie. This is what I mean by, like, this is a Madlib script for action movies, and they just filled in the James Bond blanks.
Hear me out. This is real fucked up, but imagine he made it out of the island. He goes to hug his daughter, and like 2 minutes later, he starts coughing. Turns out the daughter was injected. And James Bond, the last thing he was able to do was hug her daughter. And then the wife's crying, like the new 007 is like, oh shit, back up. That was in a shot. He gets on his knees and he says something, his final catchphrase or something, and then he dies.
Yo.
That would have been bad, right?
Yo.
People would have been upset about that.
No, you're spitting. That's low-key a fire-ass ending. Because remember how he just runs back to them? Like, that's another thing I mean. Like, a whole lot of nothing is happening. He takes his daughter hostage for not even 5 minutes later for her to be let go, with him not running after her. Why even take her hostage in the first place? Every hostage gets away so easily.
That's why my ending would have been better, because it would have made sense. Like, he just ran away after like 5 minutes. Because guess what?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I poisoned.
Yeah, I would have.
That is a bar. That's how you end the James Bond film. They need to hire you in that, John. They need to hire you as the writer for James Bond movies, and they need to hire me as Miles Morales. Let's start a petition right now.
All right, here's the actual ending. In the end, where all the characters are together, and they're talking, say, he was a cool guy, right? Yeah, peace out. Mm-hmm. Right? Hear me out. We pan to a table where there's one glass of whiskey, and the camera just zooms in, and that's it.
instead of like.
That was it. Because his thing is like alcohol. Like he loves to drink. So
I thought his thing was a martini, shaken, not stirred.
or whatever. It's, his favorite beverage right there. No,
just don't add the scene right after that with them driving.
They should have had an after credits scene of like Idris Elba like asking for a martini, shaken, not stirred, and like he's like.
How will they have introduced? I'm trying to think of a
They
good way
should
to
have introduced the next one in the ending of this film. That would have been such a bar.
I'm just trying to figure out how they would do it. Like, what would have been a good way to do it?
Like an after credits scene, maybe.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, imagine it right now.
These are some big boosts to fill.
Because they're all gathered, right? They're all talking.
I don't know if that's something you can do right then and there. I think you'd introduce them later.
Or you could do like this. Honestly, could have been like a buddy cop movie where like James Bond comes back and has to work with a new James Bond, and then at the end he passes him the torch, and then like they're both in the car, and like they drop somebody off, and they're like, by the way, it's like some girl, hot girl. She goes, by the way, what was your name? And like Daniel Craig sitting in the passenger seat, and like Idris Elba sitting in the driver's seat, and Daniel Craig looks Idris Elba in the eyes, and he gives him the nod, and Idris Elba goes, it's Bond. James Bond, and he drives off, and that's like him nodding at him is like the passing of torch is like it's yours now, and like that would be fire.
Wait, so James Bond is like a code name, right?
Yeah, it's a moniker. Yeah, it's not his real. From what I understand, it's not his real name.
Is it, Brian, or is that his actual names?
I think it's like obviously they're not going to say his real name, and when you're in the field, right? But I mean.
But everyone else was calling him James. There's James and 007. So
but everyone else has code names: M, Moneypenny, Q. So why
wouldn't his
code
name just be 07?
No, because there's other agents. Like there's a bunch of spies, and they go by 00. 007's like their most known one, and his code name is James Bond. But that's not his real name. That's why anyone can be 007. That's why anyone can be James Bond.
Yeah, it's more of an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like
it's
that
a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
And I think like it's James Bond, so like, they can't because James Bond doesn't exist, they can never track you down.
Okay, fair enough. We went over the characters. We went over things that should have been done better, right? The ending, the ending. Trying to think what else, guys.
Oh, well, we gotta go on. Well, we just talked about that was our character segment. So let's get on to like segment. We can also talk about things that could have done better, but like, whatever. Let's move on to just things we could have cut out of the movie and things that like we just generally just liked about the film. So one thing they could have cut, like I feel like, in my opinion, this movie is good right up until the forest scene, and once the forest scene ends, that's just when it's just a hard decline. That's when I just
once you're going towards the island.
Yeah, once the island starts, I just start progressively caring, and I'm really not caring that much by the forest scene. Like, but like it's just stop caring less and less.
I thought the forest scene was cool because like they were chasing after him, and he was kind of like. He was using what he could. I thought that scene was fun. It was a fun action scene.
Yeah. Low key, this movie peaks when they're in Cuba.
That shit was hot.
That's when this when this movie peaks, and then it really is downhill from there.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
That opening scene is lit though. When he's in the wheel, they needed to have more car scenes. I guess they have more in like the older ones, but. I was trying to see, like, I wanted to see more spy stuff from James Bond. Like, he's a spy, but we don't really see him do any spy work in this movie. And I wanted to see more stuff with that car. Because when he's, like, doing the donuts and just... oh, my God. That was hard. That whole car chase, that was fire. That was so...
Also, that reminds me, I was watching this... I watched one review on this movie, I think. Or, no, I watched two. And there's this one where they're saying like how they thought it was goofy how Blofeld put like a bomb in what's her face's coffin in her tombstone, kind of just like expecting James Bond to come there eventually to start the plot. It's like, well, how would they know after all this time that he would come back there? It's like, they got 24 hours camera surveillance just waiting for James Bond to go to this one graveyard.
And then
it kind of relies on the plot there to start
that
everything,
and the fact that explodes, and then Rami Malek's men also happen to come track him down that day. But those being two separate like events, like they were gonna track him down regardless, and he also just happened to run into a bomb that day. But they were not planned by the same person, which is why it doesn't make sense. Like those are just two separate things that just happen to take place right after each other. Also, why don't explosions do anything in this movie? He gets like grenades thrown at him, bombs.
Yeah, he had some grenades thrown pretty close to him at the end of that movie.
Yeah, and he takes like no explosion damage. Like I'm pretty sure like if a bomb goes off and you're like right here to the bomb, you usually die in most cases.
Fair point.
And like if a grenade lands like right next to you and like the grenade explodes, however you may not always die, you definitely have no lower half at that point. Like you just guts spilling out. So like, but not James Bond. You just get knocked back a little bit.
Called plot armor.
Yeah. That's some wild ass plot armor. Strong enough to destroy grenades, to block grenades, bro. So one of my favorite scenes is when he throws the grenade back up the staircase and they just throw down like 6 grenades. Right.
Right.
That was the funniest thing. Like, this is what I mean. This man is a superhero, bro. Like,
I didn't care at that point.
Like, the things this man James Bond can do is insane, bro. He cuts off cable wires. He doesn't even cut them off. He just grabs them and just pulls the cable wires, just straight rips them, and swings down like he's Tarzan from the little bridge when they were in Italy, bro. And he drives a motorcycle like just up like the most inverted slant. Like the slant is like this, like damn near undefined. Like it's like this, and he just drives up it like this. Is like
how we do, baby.
This man James Bond is a for real superhero, bro. And he gets shot point blank a few times and just eats bullets. That is crazy. Is this how the movies usually are, Brian?
I think in this movie they're more exaggerated.
Just because they knew they were going to kill him.
There was like, for example, in Casino Royale, he like legit almost dies because he's poisoned, and he only survives because someone happened to be there to help him at the right time. If not, he would have definitely died. Which it's more like possible. Like there's possible that someone happens to be there to help you than throwing back grenades and getting shot like point blank range.
Yeah,
that's definitely more like fictional. It's borderline fictional.
In this movie, this man, James Bond, does some Kryptonian level things, to say the least, bro. Like he's a bit of a superhero.
Got the super soldier serum in him.
Captain America can't eat bullets. I want y'all to know that. He can't eat bullets. So James Bond is actually more durable than Captain America is. That's crazy to think about. But what are some things you think could have been cut out this movie, and some things like just some random stuff you just enjoyed about the film?
I don't know if there are things that can be cut out, but I feel like they could have like managed story better. Like I think with a villain, either they should have like gone more on his backstory, or they should have removed him entirely and kind of focused on Blofeld. One of those two. They either should have strengthened Rami Malek or just taken him out and put it all towards Blofeld and like another like henchman.
Yeah. You know what scene they should have taken out? You know the scene where he goes to the psychiatrist or whatever, and it's Madeline.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's me, bitch." Take that whole scene off, and at the very end, you introduce him as the guy who saved you years ago underwater.
Yeah, that scene could be taken out entirely.
Yeah. Which means we wouldn't know she wouldn't know his identity till way later on in the movie. It would have been cool if he never takes his mask off. That would be a bad idea.
The mask is so pointless, I almost feel like. Because like
I thought you would have known who he was before the mask. Like with the scar on his face.
No, she wouldn't have recognized that. But I just feel like, what was the point? I don't like it. It just felt so forced. Like trying to get all these characters connected with each other. It just feels like a bunch of tangled webs that don't quite fit, and it's just like, why?
That's really just the main issue. Is like if they fix that, everything else I think would have been strengthened.
Right. Just let Yusef and me write it.
Really though, honestly, I think like what this movie suffers from is that there's just too many shootouts too. Like there's too many shootouts and not enough like spy stuff. There needs to be more like sneaking around. Like some of the best, like the movie really is good in its first half. That scene where they break into the medical office, like the science office, that was so lit. But James Bond wasn't involved in any of that. Like there just needs to be more spy stuff throughout the movie, especially if James Bond is
more stealthy stuff.
Yeah, like it just felt like very like that's what I mean by just felt like it felt like I was watching not Inglorious, but what's the movie called? Expendables with Jason Statham and Sylvester Stallone and all that. Like it just felt like just guns blazing, just go for it type, and it's just like, do I really need to watch that?
How's the action compared to the other James Bond movies typically, right?
This has, I think, maybe a little bit more action than usual. But there's always action. There's been crazier action scenes though, for sure. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, nothing too new. Like you said, a lot of plot armor.
I just think it's mostly like the final act, just because of how like falls, and that's the one that like the first two acts really aren't bad.
The final
just that they needed, just the third act is where it really falls, and that's because of the treatment of the villain.
Yeah, the final act was dookie.
Yeah, the final act was some might say, and by some I mean me, was terrible. I don't like to just throw around the word terrible, but it's just like it really doesn't have any redeeming qualities. Oh, it has one. When Nomi kills the Russian spy. That's the only redeeming quality of the final act.
Sad thing is I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to agree with you.
Like that's it.
It hurts.
Yeah. It was just... Yeah, sorry to all you hardcore James Bond fanboys that were dunking on this movie right now. But
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like awful, but it's very like average. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah,
like what it should be.
He deserved better. This was the last Daniel Craig performance with James Bond. You know, I feel they half-assed it almost. Final thoughts?
Yeah, let's just get to our final thoughts and call us a day on this shitty ass movie. So, my final thoughts is this was a snooze fest.
I feel like you're going lower and lower as you say more, Yusef.
Because it's just the more I talk about it, the more I really don't like this film. Like, my final thoughts are this: if the rest of the movie was like the first half, even like. If the rest of the movie was like everything up until the Cuba scene, this would be great. But it's not. So this movie isn't good. This is a snooze fest. I would
say it's negative overall, not positive.
I fell asleep through it, and then I watched the second time and realized I didn't miss anything. That's never a good sign. So that's just how I feel about that. I give this a calm 6.5.
6.5. That's still positive.
6.5. Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5. Because I did like the first half. I won't lie.
You like that?
It has stuff that I like. It just drags on. The story doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense, and then it falls flat. But it has enough where I'll give it a 6. I won't rewatch it. I already watched it twice. So I definitely won't watch it again after this.
I wouldn't rewatch it.
Yeah, no.
So
I will watch the other James Bond movies.
I'm a little interested to watch.
Yusef, I don't know if Yusef will.
I'm a little interested.
Arguably the best James Bond movie in terms of like
Casino Royale or Skyfall.
Casino Royale, because that's like Yusef said, there's the spy shit, there's the seduction thing, which they completely forgot about in this movie. Like there is no, flirty James Bond at all in this movie, right? Not at all.
Yeah.
And Casino Royale, you see all of that, and he almost dies, so it's believable.
Yeah. What movie is when the main villain gives James Bond a lap dance? What movie was that?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't remember, but there is a scene where they hit him with the balls.
I think that one's in Skyfall.
Yeah, I remember
they hit with balls. I don't know with the villain giving the lap dances.
I don't. That doesn't
like the villain being a girl.
No, it was a dude for sure. He like James Bond sitting on a chair. He's like damn near giving him a lap dance. Here, I'll see if I find the picture.
That might be Skyfall.
I
haven't seen him.
A lap dance.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Yusef looks it up. I'll say my final thoughts. As a fan of the character of James Bond, what he stood for. I've watched all his movies, so I feel like I'm the most invested here. And going into the movie theater, I cannot lie, I was very excited, super excited. I saw the trailer multiple times. Had a lot of great actors in it that I admire, and part of me wanted James Bond to have a really good ending, because he's such a character that's bigger than life almost at this point, because everybody's familiar with him. He's an icon essentially. And just because Daniel Craig isn't no longer going to be James Bond doesn't mean that the franchise should die. I think it should continue 100%. Just switch up the things, and if there's going to be a female James Bond, that's perfectly fine. But I just would like them to do something different. Switch it up a bit. This is the moment to try new things, because everything that they tried up to this point, if they continue it, it will just be bland. It'll be flat. Overall, though, the movie itself, the villain, lacking a lot. Didn't like the villain. Certain parts, they were cool, but they didn't really hit the spot like other James Bond movies. In terms of Daniel Craig's performance, he did great. Like, he did what he needed to do. Like, there's no doubt about it. I loved his performance in the movie 100%. But it's the other characters that play a lead role in the movie that I wasn't okay with. And for that, I have to give it a 5.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably my lowest score.
Yeah.
In this whole damn podcast. And now, it hurts.
Oh, I found it. You gave it a 4? Hold on. I was looking for the lap dance scene and I found it.
A 5.
You only gave it a 5. Okay. You gave it lower than me? Damn. This is a Bond fanatic over here. You gave it lower, but I still gave it a 6. Sheesh. But I found the scene. It came and I think this is Skyfall. It's the guy in the white suit jacket and he starts like unbuttoning like.
Oh, with the blonde guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the name is Silva. That was the villain's name, Silva. Right.
Yeah. I don't know why I said lap dance, but I remember this scene. It was just like.
But I say
They
lap
was
dance.
They was memeing this all over the internet back when this came out. This was hilarious. Sorry for that sidetrack. You Tim, do your review.
Yeah,
So yeah, like Yusef, I've had no history with James Bond before this. I've seen a lot of clips. I think particularly the most clips I've probably seen in them is for like Skyfall. That one seems to have the biggest impact. I'm really interested in seeing that one. Just with the cinematography, it looks really, really good in that one. But with this one, no James Bond history really besides some clips. And so my take on this was it felt like a very, like Yusuf said, it was a very generic action movie. There's nothing that was like really too crazy. Like everything like seemed like very like cliche in a way, and nothing seems like it really stick with me. And nothing was like too memorable. Like there's nothing really like stand out. Everything seems like something I've pretty much almost seen before. I wouldn't say the movie was, and I think the biggest complaint was the villain. The villain, is kind of goofy. This guy really likes plants and wants to, I don't know, give a virus. But because of that, I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. It was enjoyable to a degree, but it was just barely enjoyable. So I'd give this a solid 6.
fucking killed me.
Because I mean, it was enjoyable. Like, because I didn't dislike the movie, but because I mean, it's an action movie. It's a fun action movie. All the action scenes were fun. I enjoyed that, and some of the acting was good, and some of the shots looked nice. But besides that, the story and from everything I've been like led up to with previous James Bond movies, it was disappointing. So yeah, like 5 would be neutral, but I'd say I enjoyed it a little bit with the action, so it's like a 6. Because Yusef, I feel like you would give it like more like a 5 because you seem more neutral about it than me. But that's how I would rank it if I were you. I'd give it a 5 because I'd be more so neutral about it because you like it, but you also don't like it.
I don't. Okay, I told you here's how I rank things. A 6 is a D to me, which means like.
But this isn't about like.
It's like
grades. This isn't grading a paper.
Well, that's how I view. That's how I view life. When like I give anything a ranking, is like 7 out of 10 is okay. 8 was good. 9 was amazing. 10 was perfect. So 6 means you passed the test, but like you should not be proud of yourself at all. 5 and below means you failed entirely. You didn't even meet expectations. So basically, like me giving a movie a 1 and me giving a movie a 5 is essentially the same thing to me. Like it just means you failed. So 6 means you at least passed, and they at least passed. It sucked, but they at least passed. So that's why I give it a 6. So if I give a movie a 7, it means it's okay. It means like, it's okay.
Wait, no, this isn't my lowest score. I gave Mortal Kombat like a 4.
Oh yeah, I gave Mortal Kombat I think a 3. Yeah, I think we gave them some low scores. Mortal Kombat was rough.
Yeah, this was definitely better than Mortal Kombat. I think we can all agree on that.
We should not be comparing this to Mortal Kombat. Like, we're talking about the James Bond franchise. The fact that we've even brought up Mortal Kombat as like a ranking of like this is our lowest score is like not a good sign. You need to be looking at yourself if that's what we're comparing this to.
Overall, James the movie flop, guys, and I would go out of my way to tell you guys to not watch it.
Speaking of not watching it,
there's a lot of better movies out right now than the James Bond movie.
Go watch No Time to Die. Watch good James Bond movies. Go watch No Casino Royale, Spectre, and Skyfall.
Speaking of not watching this, Tim, when you said to like go watch it with you, like I wanted to hang out with you, but I low-key like just didn't want to see this movie because I was dreading having to sit through this again because it was rough having to sit through it the first time. It was like I was literally like bro, and I remember the first time I watched it, I kept waking up and I'm like, God damn, the movie is still going, and it was to the point where I was like, can this just end, please? And that's how I felt. After the Cuba scene, watching it with you, I'm like, oh, the Cuba scene's over now. Can this movie just end here, please? I don't want to keep watching this anymore. That's how it was. Jeez, yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't go watch it. It's not great.
It would have been cool if he died in Cuba, and then the new James Bond is assigned for the rest of the movies. The new Bond.
Ana de Armas should have been the new James Bond.
I'll take her.
I wouldn't mind taking
She's the new girl. She's the new guy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I would love fuck it. Ana de Armas is the new James Bond. Oh. Okay.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch it too.
I watch it too. But
Hey guys, so we can wrap it up whenever you're ready, buddy.
Alright guys.
This is a sad ending.
Shit, bro. Don't make a shitty movie. You won't get a power review like this. So, hey. But I'm gonna say it like this, y'all. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Film Dissection Podcast. We appreciate all of your support. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with everybody you know. Share it with your pastor. Share it with your rabbi. Share it with your
roommate.
Your roommate? No, there was
one inmate.
Inmate, cellmate. There was also like
you got nothing better to do.
Share with your imam. That's the one for people of the Islamic faith. Share with your imam. Share.
Rabbi.
I already said rabbi. Share with your friends, your families, your mortal enemies. Share with your teachers' pets, your teachers' actual pets. Share with everyone you know. because we need to grow the podcast. And
if you know any middle-aged women that we can cast, please let us know.
Yes, if you are a woman between the ages of 24 and 35, please email yshaw2336@students.mc3.edu because we're looking to cast someone to play Jana and our show we're all directing called The Quantum Club. We are in desperate need. Please. If you're a woman between the ages of 24 and 35, no, I'm playing. We just need you to cast.
So, you know.
we just need you to cast. I'm playing.
He's looking for new opportunity.
But Tim, where can they find us?
They can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, just anywhere there's a platform they can listen to podcasts. We're on it.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram @Film Dissection Podcast. Make sure to follow us on TikTok @Film Dissection Podcasts, and just support anywhere you can. So
are we gonna beginning sense? So right. You know that's how we're ending anything.
All right, guys. So thank you, and that's a cut.
Yeah.